Hi guys, it's Arielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today is a special fall vlog in Paris. We're on the left bank of the Seine, so I'm going to take you through the 5th, 6th, and 7th. Show you all sorts of activities and restaurants that you can try in your next trip to Paris. And then later this evening, Jean and I booked a room at a hotel with the view of the Eiffel Tower, which I think is going to be so special. I'm hoping this vlog gives you an idea of new things you can try when you're in the city, and also gives you an idea of the weather we're having at the moment to help you with packing. Now, I haven't had breakfast or coffee, so we're going to start with the tea room at Ladurée for brunch. So we have about 2 more hours until we can check into the hotel, and since we're in the neighborhood, I thought we could check out the Grande Épicerie and the Bon Marché, which is the big department store on the left bank of the Seine. And you guys are gonna think I'm crazy, but I actually have to start thinking about my Christmas gifts since I sent all my packages to Canada and to Greece for the holidays, and they have to be done at least 2 months before like the actual date of Christmas. And you know me, I love to pick out sentimental, meaningful gifts that are made with love in France, and one of my go-to brands for myself, but also gifts for my mom and my girlfriends, is Typology, a vegan and cruelty-free skincare brand that's entirely formulated and manufactured in France. All their products are amazing. There are literally so many that I would recommend, which is why I think the most fabulous gift that you can give to a loved one, or yourself of course, is the Typology advent calendar, which I have right here. Now, of course, I won't spoil the surprise for every day, but I thought we could open 3 boxes together. Front and center, number 9. It's the Radiance Serum with 11% vitamin C and silk tree extract. I adore this serum. I use it every morning and evening before my moisturizer, and it has worked wonders in reducing pigmentation and redness. For those who don't know, I have rosacea. I cannot speak highly enough about this serum, and I love that it's the mini version because it is perfect for travel. Number 14. It seems we're on theme because this is the Typology Radiance Mask. It's made with yellow clay and organic turmeric, and this one is great for the winter because it helps bring back some of that summer glow after just 10 minutes. Number 22. We have the full-size glow drops made with vitamin C and aloe vera. If you combine even just 1 drop of these glow drops with your moisturizer, you have the most naturally beautiful glow. Honestly, this is such an exciting way to enjoy the holidays, and like I said, there are too many amazing Typology products. This calendar is a really awesome way to be able to try so many, since it includes all the bestsellers and new launches for face, eyes, lips, and hands. It's also a total steal. You get $600 worth of product, 15 of which are full size by the way, and all for just $279.90. Plus, every advent calendar order gets a free tote bag and travel pouch. I'll leave the link to the calendar down below, and you'll want to be quick because this calendar sells out so fast. Thank you to Typology for making this holiday season extra special and for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. Welcome to La Grande Épicerie, which in English means large grocery store. Now, this is a special section of the greater department store called Le Bon Marché. Le Bon Marché, or the Good Market, or the Good Deal in English, was a department store that opened in 1852 and very quickly set themselves apart. They offered a new type of shopping experience that was fairly revolutionary to Parisians at the time, including things like fixed prices as opposed to haggling, the possibility of returns, and sales, just to name a few. Then in 1923, 1933, for the very first time, a grocery counter was integrated into this department store. Initially, the counter offered dry goods such as teas, cocoa powders, and chocolates, but in 1933, fresh produce also became available. Today, over 100 years later, La Grande Épicerie offers a selection of over 30,000 products, making it a very special place to come and do some shopping and to scope out souvenirs. Yes, they sell bottled hot chocolate from Angelina's and the Eiffel Tower sugar cubes, but it remains a grocery store loved and frequented by locals. For me personally, if I can't find something at my local supermarket, I don't despair because I know that I'll find it at La Grande Épicerie. Take your time and you'll find hidden gems throughout. One other thing to keep in mind about La Grande Épicerie is that it's located in a neighborhood that's not only residential, but also at the heart of many office buildings and schools. That means that between noon and 2 p.m., thousands of people, be it locals, tourists, or people on their lunch break, flock to La Grande Épicerie to grab lunch and groceries. Because of that, I would really recommend visiting in the morning when they open, as it's a lot less busy. And actually, the same thing goes for Ladurée, where we were this morning. I walked into their tea room at 10:15 when they opened, and I was the only customer until about 11:30. By the time I left, every single table was taken and a lineup had formed. So for the activities and shops that are at the top of your list, make sure you get to them when they open early in the morning if you want to avoid the stress and the crowds. As you go from La Grande Épicerie to the Bon Marché department store, don't forget to check out the little corner just one floor above called La Supérette, which means convenience store in English. Here you'll find food-themed trinkets that also make for great souvenirs. One more spot that I want to show you in the Bon Marché is the exhibition section located on the second floor of the women's fashion department towards the very back. Here you'll find a free exhibit that's very interactive, thoughtful, and interesting. The event going on at the moment is called Rock and Drôle, drôle means funny in English, and explores decades of rock and roll through an immersive rock motel. I'm so excited, I can't wait to see the view. Oh my gosh, we are directly in front of the Eiffel Tower. That is crazy. I'll be honest with you guys, I did not think the view would be this good. I think I was half expecting to be scammed, but this is beautiful. Okay, so now that we've seen the view, let me give you a room tour. It is quite a small hotel room. It's only 15 meters squared, which is actually the size of my very first apartment in Paris. So really, actually, it's quite big. So right behind me, you have the door to the room and a full body mirror, which we love. I just stuck my luggage here for now. We've got a TV, the view, of course. And the room we booked has a double bed or a queen size bed. I'm relieved there's a kettle. Jean and I love to have tea in the evening, so that'll be nice when we play board games. A tiny little closet and then some extra pillows. I think those are robes and some slippers. Although as far as I'm aware, this hotel doesn't have a pool, so I guess those are just for for showers. And speaking of showers, let's look at the bathroom. Oh, okay, it's a little smaller than I was expecting. I'm gonna try and climb in the bathtub to give you a better look. Over here is the bathtub and shower, which is right beside the toilet. And then in front of the toilet, you have the sink and the mirror. If I'm being honest, this is by far the smallest hotel bathroom I've ever seen in a hotel in Paris. Granted, I haven't been to that many, but it is surprisingly small. It's almost the size of a closet. And then right beside the bathroom is this little desk nook, which is quite thin. I'm not sure if it'll fit my laptop, but it's a nice little add-on. I'm trying to sit down to talk about the price and everything for this room, but I'm sitting in front of the window and the Eiffel Tower, and it's just so distracting. I can't stress enough how beautiful this room is. Like, the view is stunning, and Jean just texted me. Actually, he's like, should I bring the champagne? Like, should we have champagne in front of the Eiffel Tower while it sparkles? I'm like, yes. So I could not be more pleased. As someone who lives here, I'm loving this. I can't even imagine what it would feel like if this is your first time in the city. And that's actually the reason why I'm starting to test these hotels with views of the Eiffel Tower, because I want to be able to recommend more hotels to you guys during our consultation calls. And not just that, but recommend hotels with different views in different areas. And very often I do get asked what hotel I would pick that has a view of the Eiffel Tower. And the problem is a lot of the hotels that advertise these views are very expensive. Like, I'm talking between 800 and like 3,000 euros, if not more. And so that's why I ended up picking this hotel, Les Jardins d'Eiffel, because it was, I think, the cheapest hotel with the view that I could find that still had really good ratings. So for tonight, the bill is 360 euros. That said, I did pick the option that included breakfast, which I think was an extra 30. So if you don't pick breakfast, I would imagine this room is 330 euros. And the room specifically is called Chambre Double Premium Double Room, Premium Double Room, which essentially is a room with a double bed and the premium view, which is the Eiffel Tower. All of their premium rooms come with the view of the tower. It's just from different angles. And I think we got really lucky because we are head on, but I know some of their premium rooms have a view, but from the balcony, which is special as well. But I'll be honest, I did want a view where I could see the Eiffel Tower like all the time through the window. But I guess the downside is we don't have the balcony. Another thing that I wanted to mention about the price of this room is that I actually started looking at these rooms for these dates 2 months ago. And I'm so angry at myself because I didn't book them in advance, but when I was looking, this room was around 220 euros. So while I did pay 360, I think you can find a much cheaper price if you book well in advance, or of course, if you book off season. Like, if you look at this hotel in February or March, the hotel rooms are like 200 euros for the premium option. So yeah, that's the room. All that's missing now is Jean. Jean's here. And we're going to dinner. I was thinking about where I want to take you guys because there's tons of good restaurants on the left bank. But you know, it's chilly. I kind of want something hot. So we figured we'd take you to one of our favorite cheap eat restaurants. Cheap eats. Affordable dining. And it's a restaurant that serves homemade Szechuan noodles. It's called Tran Tran Zai. Are you excited?
Yeah. I want 0.5 spicy.
I would say Tran Tran Zai is like winter comfort food. Fall, winter comfort food.
Tiens-le, tiens-le.
Honestly, I was like, oh, I love it.
Wow, nice. Ce macaron. Okay, first game so far of Rumicube, and of course I win, as always. No, that's wrong. I think it's my first win since, I don't know, maybe in the last 10 party, 10 game, first win in 10 game probably, but I'm so happy.
Yeah, I've won pretty much every night for the past
10 years.
7 nights at least. But what I want to say is this game, without fail, knocks me out. Like, forget sleeping pills. If you have problems sleeping, play a round of Rumicubus and you'll just be zonked out. Like, this game turns off my brain. So, I think it's probably time to put on pajamas. And another rainy day in Paris.
Hello.
Don't be fooled by the coffee beans. That's just an espresso with extra water. I think I'm gonna go for the cappuccino. So this is what I got to eat at the breakfast buffet. I love a hotel that caters to North American breakfast, which is eggs and bacon. I mean, Jean already ate his breakfast, but it was bread, Nutella, and butter, which is normally what at least every French person I've known eats for breakfast. And then I got a cappuccino as well. Ta-da! I think hotel breakfast in Europe has definitely changed. I remember when I was like 15 and I went to Europe for the first time with my family and we were in Italy. I distinctly remember only having like meats, cheeses, and meats and cheeses at the buffet. So we're braving the rain. We stepped out for a second to grab some coffee because the hotel coffee was so bad. They didn't have cappuccinos without sugar. So I can confirm it's pouring rain. And I regret wearing my leather shoes with holes in them. Ah! Time to check out. It looks like it stopped raining. Thank goodness. All right, we're back home. Sadly, I'll add, because I really wanted to go back out. There were a couple museums and coffee shops that I wanted to show you, and I was hoping we could do that today, but it's just been raining nonstop. Like, since this morning, it hasn't stopped raining. It's still raining right now. And not just that, but it's cold and windy, and it's impossible to film anything when it's like pouring rain. So, all that to say, I definitely have to go back and stay another night on the left bank of the Seine. This is actually the second video that I put out where I stayed a night. I think the last time I was in the 5th. And same thing, like it rained all night long. And the problem is I primarily do these hotel videos so that I can get a feel for an area in Paris during the morning, the afternoon, and the evening. And when it rains all day, it's really hard to just wander around, get lost, and discover new places and really understand what an arrondissement is like. So all that to say, I will be back. It's kind of a bummer that it's raining, and it's literally raining every single day this week. I think if you're coming to Paris, make sure you pack your umbrella. One thing I wanted to add before we wrap up this vlog is my take on whether or not I think you should book a hotel with an Eiffel Tower view, or just I wanted to throw in my 2 cents of the kind of hotel that you should book. Do I think the hotel that we booked was worth the price? No. It was really nice to have a view of the Eiffel Tower, but there's a couple things that I realized throughout the night is, number one, the Eiffel Tower, like the lights go out at midnight. To explain the whole Eiffel Tower lighting sparkle system to you, basically there's light sensors, so as soon as the sun sets, those light sensors realize that there's no more sunlight, and that's when the Eiffel Tower is sort of illuminated with lights. And then for 5 minutes on the hour, for every hour until midnight, the Eiffel Tower sparkles. And so last night, for example, after dinner, we came home and we saw it sparkle at 9 p.m., 10 p.m., and 11 p.m. It doesn't sparkle at midnight because the lights go off. And so if you're booking this hotel with the idea that you'll have the Eiffel Tower lit up all night, you'll see it all day, then I think that's a little misleading. Like, for example, Jean and I were still playing cards at midnight, and then we saw the Eiffel Tower go out, and I was like, oh my gosh, I thought we would have this view all night long, but we didn't. And again, like, really, I don't know if that's a concern to everyone, but it just surprised me that the lights went off so early. Sorry, I feel like that was a bit of a word vomit, but I think when you're paying such a high price for just one night, you kind of expect to have that fabulous view all night long, and you don't. So I just want to make sure that you guys are aware that the Eiffel Tower at some point in the evening is no longer lit up. The other thing I wanted to mention is that for the price of this hotel, you could book other hotels that have way better amenities and are way larger in terms of room size and bathroom size. I haven't visited every single hotel in Paris, but I've stayed at quite a few. And the budget of these hotels I've stayed at is between, I would say, 200 and maybe 350 euros. So exactly what we booked pretty much for this hotel with the Eiffel Tower view. And across the board, all of those hotels I've stayed at have had very large, beautifully decorated rooms, huge bathrooms, but also amenities like a pool, a spa, sauna, hammam that you can actually privatize. Like most hotels in Paris that offer these sort of spa experiences in their hotel, because the area is so small, like you're not getting a full 25-meter long pool, you're getting a smaller, more intimate area. They allow each guest to privatize that space for between 30 minutes to an hour, depending on the hotel. And that is like a huge add-on, especially in the fall and the winter when it's cold and it's rainy and you come home, like you just want to put on your bathing suit, put on your bathrobe and go down to the sauna. And so I felt like that was sort of the drawback with this hotel is, yes, there was a spectacular view, but not only was the hotel room extremely small, the bathroom was literally a closet. So Jean and I were like stepping on each other's toes. It was really inconvenient, but we also didn't have the luxury of those amenities that you would normally have with a hotel that costs the same price or even less. And one final point is that the breakfast at this hotel was also the worst breakfast I've ever had at Paris. Again, all the hotels I book in Paris that I test, I book the breakfast option, and they have been spectacular thus far. But this one, Les Jardins d'Eiffel, really fell short in terms of the quality of the breakfast that they offered. So in summary, I think a hotel like this would be fun to book for one night for that experience, but anything longer, I wouldn't say is worth it. If you're someone who only wants the view, whose dream is to have that view every single night you're in Paris, and that is your main priority, then this type of room could be good for you. But if you're someone like me who prefers to have the space in a room to move around, to properly unpack, to enjoy the bathroom, to enjoy the amenities, then I would look at other hotels. Like for me personally, I'm someone who stays at hotel with the intention of feeling relaxed. I love coming home at the end of a big day in a city, a busy day, and I just like to feel comfortable and cozy in the hotel, and I didn't really feel that at Les Jardins d'Eiffel. So those are just my 2 cents. And it's interesting as well because when I was checking in and checking out, I was obviously with other guests who were doing the same thing, and every single guest that I saw check in and check out was only there for one evening. So it definitely feels like this is an experience that people book just for one night to have that view, but not for their whole vacation. And it's honestly disappointing to me because they could have configured the room so much better. You would have seen like the closet space was enough to hang 2 coats. There was no other space to store clothes, shoes, accessories. When I was doing my makeup in the morning and brushing my teeth, like I had my stuff sitting on the toilet seat because there was just literally no space. And I feel like they could have done a better job at configuring the room to make it more enjoyable for guests. Voila, I'll end my speech on the matter there. I'd be very curious to know what you guys think if you've booked a hotel with the view or if you're considering it, if this was helpful, I don't know. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video, and a huge thank you to Typology as well for sponsoring today's video. Make sure you guys check them out, the link down below. Again, I think the advent calendar is such a good deal. I really can't recommend Typology enough, so yeah, all that will be linked down below. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next one.